By the end of episode 1, Raven to me came off as someone within the friends group that wanted the other women in the friends group to be as single as she is. What's up, everybody? Well, in my quest to always find some new good reality TV, I decided to check out Oahu Shores on Peacock, and I think it's has a lot of potential to be a good show for anyone missing that old Laguna Beach feeling. Well, we might have a new age drama to that effect. What's best about a show like this is something that's usually missing from reality television these days, is that the cast is actually friends. Went to high school together and now still friends after high school. Most of the cast have had these connections for years, if not at least since high school, now that they're college aged. It's a nice younger reality TV drama, and it's pretty short, the first season. I'm here to talk about the first 2 episodes today, which is already, I believe, a third of the season, so I won't be doing too many videos about this, but I do recommend it if you are looking for a little reality TV fix and the rest of the landscape isn't working for you right now. So I'm going to give my initial opinions on some of the cast and then go over my opinions on the drama in episode 2. Episode 1 is definitely an introduction. We're meeting everyone for the first time. Not a lot of drama, but by the end we get a preview for the next episode that there's about to be a bunch of drama. But I do think episode 1 is it's good at setting the table for what is to come with this new cast of characters we have to talk about. We have Skye. Skye is someone in the friend group that has been in a relationship the longest, but it is a long distance relationship. She's dating a guy from Guam, which is where she is also from, but she has since put down her roots in Oahu for years now and really likes it there. And Skye, by episode 2, is definitely someone that needs to not be around alcohol. Alcohol caused a lot of problems for her in episode 2, which we will get into. Next, we have Rachael, who, like Skye, is also originally from Guam, which is why her and Skye seem to be really good friends, or at least have been since they've lived in Hawaii. She dated Alex, who is the oldest guy in the friend group, for 3 years, but they have since broken up, and they are now trying to coexist within the friend group, which does eventually become the first point of drama, which I will get into soon. We might as well talk about Alex next. Like I said, he is the oldest guy in the friend group. He seems to be Mr. Party Planner. A lot of the girls see him as a brother, like a big brother to the group, but he did date Rachael. And he's the one that in episode 1 kind of gives us the first bit of drama when talking to one of the other guys in the friend group. Kind of says that Rachael may have cheated on him, and that's why they broke up. Apparently she was always hanging around some group of guys, but some guy in particular that was always at her house. And of course, Alex is going to think the worst about that. So once he starts saying this, that gets around the group, gets back to Rachael, which makes them have to go off and have a chat alone about that. She still swears that she didn't cheat on him, even though it looks bad. She's swearing in her confessionals that she never cheated on him. So we have to take her word for that. But Alex's point of view is that he couldn't really ever know for sure because she was always hanging around that guy a lot towards the end of their relationship. Who that guy is, I don't know. He doesn't seem to be on the show. At least right now he doesn't in these first 2 episodes. The next girl, whose name I will try not to butcher, is Kaui. She is someone who hasn't dated a lot lately, if at all, hasn't had a relationship for a long time, feels like there's no good guys left on the island, and they don't even try and pursue her. So that's why when Marcus, who is the next person, who is the youngest guy in the group, starts flirting with her a lot and wanting to get to know her, she agrees to go on a date with him, and they do seem to have a good time. Now, Marcus, like I said, is the youngest in the group. He currently goes to college at Arizona State, which, if anyone knows anything about Arizona State, it's one of the biggest party schools in the nation. So he does go to this party school. He presents himself as a little more innocent on this show than he probably actually is, but he also does come across like a bit of a party or two. He is single and clearly mingling hard with Kaui, who, and I think they've known each other since high school, at least, much like a lot of this group. So they do have that prior connection too, although I don't think they were close in high school by any means. So that is our potential couple, which we'll get back into here in a second. Next up is Kamalani. She definitely comes off as the most Hawaiian. She grew up living off the land, but in my opinion, she is also the baddie in the group, looks wise, and I think probably the toughest in the group as well. If anyone is to try and mess with her physically, which I don't think they would, but she might try and mess with them physically, which we'll talk about at the end here. She's in a new relationship with someone, but that guy is on the mainland in the mainland US because she feels like she knows everyone on their island in Hawaii or is related to everyone on the island, so she always tries to date someone in the mainland. Next up is Keolu. He is the guy in the group that seems to be friends with everyone. Now, he is dating someone named Anya, who is not a part of the main cast, but who also seemed to go to high school with a lot, if not all, of the girls in the cast. So they do know Anya, and in episode 1, they make it seem like Anya is really good for Keolu, made him go from a boy to a man and all of that. Now, Keolu has this reputation within the group for kind of liking to get the tea while also spilling the tea, and he's described as a girl's guy in the group, which honestly I could kind of relate to. I like to obviously talk my shit on here, and I feel like Keolu does as well. Be a little messy, get the gossip. It's fun, you know? I have fun hanging around with women friends. I feel like it is a little more fun hanging around them than with the guys. You know, we're going to talk some sports, drink some beers, but we really just don't sit there and talk shit about people like I like to do. So I understand Keolu a lot. I also feel like he is actually friends with everyone, but he's messy. He was the one that after Alex told him that Alex isn't sure if Rachel cheated on him when they were in a relationship, Keolu goes to Rachel and some of the other girls telling them that Alex said Rachel cheated on him, which wasn't exactly what Alex said, although he said it was possible. And so that's when the gossip got around the group, thanks to Keolu. But I'm going to stand beside my my messy guy in the group because I can relate. Next up is Raven. You know, every reality show needs its season 1 antagonist, and I think that is Raven. She just moved in with Rachel and Kaui, and by the end of episode 1, Raven to me came off as someone within the Friends group that wanted the other women in the Friends group to be as single as she is, especially when Kaui and Marcus went on their date. She was too suspicious about Marcus might be there to try and hurt Kaui. And I can understand why she has suspicions of young Marcus. But if Kaui wants to have some fun, I don't really see what the issue is. Well, going into episode 2, Kaui threw a party at the club that she works at. And with Skye's boyfriend coming in a few days, Skye wanted to let loose, I guess. But I guess when Skye drinks, it kind of goes crazy. Skye did seem like a very obnoxious drunk. Me and Skye would hate each other when we were drinking. Skye gets loud, starts kind of antagonizing people. Just really, you know, she's one of those drunks that just acts a fool when they drink. Raven, I believe, in confessionals said that it might be because she grew up in a household where she wasn't heard, and now she has to do all this screaming, especially when she's drunk. Well, Skye was getting loud with Marcus about his date with Kaui, and Kaui kept trying to come and talk to them. Skye kept telling Kaui to get away. She's trying to have a serious conversation with Marcus. You know, Kaui's just started maybe seeing this guy and doesn't want Skye to act a fool in front of him, but she does the whole time. Drunk Skye gets upset with Kaui, telling her to go be with her frat boy and suck his dick at one point. And so, yeah, that led to arguments in the coming days after that between Skye and Kaui. Alex says Skye likes to be the Skye show when she's drunk and suck up a bunch of attention, and he was not wrong with all of that. Before this, Raven also confronted Marcus, being what I think the hater that she is, saying that his intentions with Kaui better be pure, kind of threatening him the whole time. And, you know, maybe Raven is just looking out for Kaui, but the way the show started, talking about how everyone in the group is single except for Skye, I still think Raven is coming across as someone who is a hater and wants every girl in the friends group to be single like she is. That's how I feel about her. Now, at that party, Marcus and Kaui do end up kissing, and with Kaui working at that same club, Raven is acting like she's making an ass out of herself and that she shouldn't be doing that at her job. The next day, Raven had a wellness event while they were all hungover, and Kaui wants Skye to apologize for her acting out while drunk. Skye doesn't like Kaui calling her out in front of all of the girls, which is very hypocritical. My problem with this is Skye doesn't really have a leg to stand on. She makes a fool out of her and her friends in a public setting, not just with her friends, but with everyone else at the club. But then she doesn't like being called out in front of the friends group because they should be handling that issue in private. But the problem is Skye's issues are in public, so I don't really understand why it can't be handled in public either. I did not agree with Skye here, and either she just got a really bad edit from the show and really looked like a hypocrite, or Skye is one of those people that is a professional victim. Because then Keolu, Skye, Alex, Kaui went golfing with the girls trying to teach the guys, the guys trying to teach the girls how to golf, and Skye and Kaui had not talked much since their drunken mess. Kaui was bitching the whole time about Skye being drunk and being embarrassing, which was distracting Keolu's golfing. Skye was saying that Kaui embarrassed herself at her own workplace, so she doesn't like being called out in front of people for being the embarrassing one at her workplace. So I guess Skye agrees with Raven that Kaui kissing Marcus at her workplace was just wrong. But by the end of this confrontation, Kaui is saying that Skye always likes to play the victim, and maybe that is her character. You know, these reality shows always like to have someone that has to play the victim every time. I guess that is Skye for us in this show. Skye and her boyfriend later met up. He's in town for like a day. His name's Steven. He's there from Guam. I guess they're having problems about who should move in with who. Skye's not ready to go back to Guam and settle down yet, so that is our tension between this couple. Skye overall, I don't like the characters on these reality shows that play the victim, so she's going to have to do some growing for me to end up liking her. Now, two of my favorites are Kamalani and Keolu, who are the most Hawaiian of the group, or so they say, but they both do love hunting and fishing. And she loves that he loves to gossip, so when they go fishing, they talk about Marcus and Kaui. Keolu says that he sees them as more of a hookup, probably not going to be more of a relationship because Marcus is young and still in college at Arizona State of all places. Kama was saying that she supports it but doesn't want Kaui to be hurt. And so I guess the friend group is trying to look out for Kaui in this situationship that she's finding herself at, or finding herself in with Marcus. Then Kama brings up Raven and how Raven is not here for that relationship at all, but also brings up that I guess Raven was talking shit that same night at the club about her, saying that Kama was flirting with Alex and Rachel's there, so why is she flirting with Rachel's ex? Kama says that Alex is a part of the friend group and she was just being friendly. And so they talk about how she probably needs to confront Raven. Now, before we get to that confrontation, Rachel's mom came to town, and it seems like Rachel's mom really liked Alex and was hoping that, she and the family were hoping that Rachel and Alex would get married of all things. And her mom seemed genuinely sad that they broke up. I mean, she cried some real tears. It wasn't reality television fake tears, unless her mom was an actor somewhere and should have been a movie star at some point. We had some real tears. And so her mom's trying to discuss with Rachel that she might regret the situation. I don't know if the show is going for us to root for Rachel and Alex to get back together, but I kind of want them to get back together personally. Let's get to the big confrontation, though. Kamalani has Raven, Rachel, and Marcus hang out together because they all want to grill Marcus about Kaui. So he gets grilled about Kaui instead of just actually getting to know the girls like he wants to. But then when they all go diving and swimming, Kama confronts Raven and saying that she heard that she said something about her, and if she had heard Raven talking shit at the club, she probably would have knocked Raven out. Raven said that it looked like Kama was flirting with Alex, and Kama says Raven doesn't think about what she says, and she starts a lot of the problems within the friend group, which is what I've been saying, and I think it comes out because Raven is a hater for some reason. She is a hater, and she wants all the girls to be single. So they argue, and Raven's going on about how Alex is not her boy, Rachel is her girl, and if they have to treat Alex like shit, then so be it. It doesn't matter if Alex is still a part of the friend group. And Cam rightfully calls Raven out for being fake then, because she's always cordial with Alex too. But if this is how she really feels about Alex, then she's a fake bitch. And I think that's true. And so they keep arguing. Rachel comes over trying to get them to get along. And by the end, Kama does shove Raven, and she's yelling for security by the end of the episode. Before this happened, Raven was saying that if she gets physical with her, it's going to land Kama in jail. It's going to ruin her career. But Raven was once again saying, who gives a fuck about Alex's feelings? And that's when Kama pushed her. So I don't know if we're supposed to think maybe Kama really does have feelings for Alex. That's not what I got, though. I think Raven, who's saying in confessionals that she communicates with communication, and that is her style. She comes from a family that had good communication. But Raven more so comes off like a bullshitter who doesn't care really about anyone's feelings, just wants to get her opinion out there. Kama is a very passionate person, clearly. And I do think Raven was getting under Kamalani's skin here. But also I think Kama just hates a fake bitch. And that's what Raven was being. And Kama likes to keep it real. And it maybe got a little too real for Raven by the end of this episode. So we end the episode with a physical confrontation. Don't hate it. Kind of like it. Looking forward to these last 4 episodes. I don't know if I'll update every 2 episodes. Probably what I'm going for. Unless episode 3 is just really, really hot and I have a lot to talk about, then I'll talk about that too. But I do think if you haven't checked it out, we have a decent, if not good, new reality show on our hands that is bringing drama and mess. But more importantly to me, it comes off more real. You know, sometimes the real is missing from reality television. But this group clearly at least have been friends since high school. They've at least been real friends for 5, 6 years. And I just think that a friend group that started in high school, there's a lot. It comes off a lot deeper relationships because they've known each other since they were young, and I think it's making for some good mess, which is what I like. Just like me and what's his name that I'm like, me and Keolu. Yeah, me and Keolu, we're here.